Hey, this is Josh with Grimco. Wanted to do a quick video here to show how you can get better grays in Flexi if you're having problems getting a nice neutral gray. Here's a few tricks that can help you get a better gray in the file. So I've got a file here with some grayscale blacks in it. Take a look at those. I'll make it a little bit bigger so we can see it here. Um, so first of all, if you are getting, grays coming out bluish or grays coming out pinkish or whatever, it kind of indicates a imbalance in the profile, obviously. So one thing you may be able to do is just try a different profile, and that may be all you need to do. It's not always the case, but it sometimes can help. So of course, if you have an HP printer, you can go on the printer's front panel in the substrate library and download a different profile and try it out. Uh, in the case of an Epson, you can download profiles from the Epson Edge dashboard. So that's the little icon down here. Pulls this up. Click on the where it says online or ready, and then go to your media settings tab. Of course, mine's offline because I'm not connected to anything right now. Media settings, and then you can do the download EMX file to search for different profiles. Usually I kind of tend to go with 3Ms for the Epson. And then you can see all these different ones available. And of course you can choose by other brands or other media types or whatever. And then download those, so select those and then download. And then load those into the dashboard here. So once you have them in your local library, you can sync them over to the printer's front panel by selecting the profile and then selecting the slot you want to load it to and then hitting apply. So you can also find profiles more so for the HP on grimco.com. If you go to the equipment support tab down at the very bottom, and you have a printer profile section here. And once it loads, you just choose your printer and download the profile and install it into your software that way. So those are some options for downloading new profiles. That may help you, although sometimes there's grays are just tough, regardless of what profile you're using. So here are some other tricks you can do. So if we look at the job properties here, if I go to Object Color Control and I hover over these grays, it shows, okay, this is a 20% K gray, but the color management decided to build it out with 11% cyan, 13% magenta, and 9% yellow. So you can see how that might not be a nice neutral gray. It might come out with more of a tint to it because it's just using CMY to trick your eye into seeing gray. So that's got to be pretty well dialed in. And then, of course, lighting and also the other sort of factors will play into that. And then you're going to see if you got it in a certain light, it might look okay. And you get in another light, it's going to look more bluish or whatever. Or in this case, probably more magenta-ish because there's more magenta in this build. And then same thing here, 50%, it's putting a bunch of magenta in this one as well. So this would come out kind of more pinkish. And I can see that to an extent by clicking preview here. It's probably not going to be that bad, but you get the idea there, that it's going to come out a certain hue to it. So what we can do is if we go back into the color management tab and go to the advanced settings, I believe it's under rendering intents here, we can enable pure hues. So we can just check the box for gray, and I'm actually not sure what clean color is, but I usually turn it on. I think it allows for a tolerance of how it defines gray, and I usually leave it where it is here, but you could play with that to see if that helps with your grays. And then so now that that's enabled, and if we go back to our object color control, we should see some different results here. Now it's saying, okay, I'm going to use just K in this gray rather than interpreting it with a bunch of CMY in there. So this will achieve more neutral grays without messing with the rest of the colors. And if this, obviously this is basically all black, but if there were other colors in this file, it would still use the standard color management I have in my profile and just basically ignore any color management for K grays. And actually, I think it'll do that to an extent for other like CMY builds of gray as well, or RGB for that matter. So hopefully that'll help. You can also build that into a preset. So now that I've got these saved, I can click my save as up here. You know, now that I have this set, you know, I've got my pure hues turned on. I can save that as a preset. Probably a better way to do that actually would be to actually do it right from the default job properties and go to your color management tab here. And I'm not saving a default job property necessarily, but it might not be a bad idea either. But I want to at least go in here so that way I can go to my rendering intents and turn that on for bitmaps, vectors, text gradient, CMYK or RGB or whatever, and just check that box for everything. Each one of these here. Now that I've got those all checked, I can just do save as, and then I can leave whatever tabs checked, but obviously I want the color management tab checked. And then I'm going to call this something like pure hue grays. And then now I'll have a drop down selection in my presets that I can just choose to select that. And it might not be a bad idea just to save it as the default, so just hit apply. Okay, here now that'll be my default settings for every job going forward. I think that's everything I wanted to touch on in this video with grays. Hopefully that'll help you out. And if you have any questions, just let us know. You can go to grimco.com, go to our equipment support page, and you can submit a request for tech support here, and we'll get back to you as quick as we can. Thanks and have a great day.